Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we are back with episode 9 of The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World. So far the episodes have been good. They've been sticking to the source material, have been good, adding good extra scenes. However, this is where, in episode 9, we have a bit of a divergence from the manga. We have a scene essentially cut out. No, it's not a fan service scene, it's a battle scene. And that battle scene happens between one of Anzir's companions, the card wielder, versus Logi and Ydra. It happens soon after Anzir makes his appearance, and Red and Rania decide, all right, we need to go after him. Let's do this. So when they transform and follow him, this is when Ydra and Logi battle against the card wielder, and it's a pretty good fight. Oh, and the card wielder's name is Yugs, from my little information gathering. So yeah. So these two in the manga, those two battle, and it's a really good fight scene. It does take quite a few pages, and I think if you were to adapt it to the anime, it probably would take in 5 minutes. But I think you could have actually honestly done it, like when the fight against like when Yugs fights Red, like it tempts him, like, what are you gonna do about the companions, and then he summons a giant trap to hold him in. You could have had to replace that. Like, you could have replaced that, and you could even the fight against Gimmick, you could have gotten rid of as well. This flying chimera bastard. You could have gotten rid of both those fights and just had the Ydra and Logi fight be there, and it would have perfectly fine. There's also a scene later on where Ydra and Logi and Teltana get captured, put under the sand by Waz and Zier's privilege seed demon. And, like, you could have replaced that with a fight. I don't know. Yes, the ordering could have been a little bit weird, but I think they should have included it. And here's the thing: I do understand why they cut it, because I think they're trying to get to a certain point. It's not the most important battle, as the resolution ends up the same, but still, it should have included. And this episode does have a lot of big backstory. Like, in terms of manga covering, we get a little bit of 10, and then the primary is essentially all 11. And that's the prime. It's basically what it is just 11. And there's a lot of good information. You see Anzir, Red, and Rania battling. She uses her different forms, including the Nubis form, which looks fantastic. I think that's my favorite. We see Kizuna Red being kind of a bit smart when he goes against Waz, the big giant creature. This big thing, I absolutely love the coloring. And the manga in this as well, they put bandages on one of his arms so his armor basically doesn't turn into sand. It's pretty good. We got some good fight scenes. We also see his when he gets trapped underground, we see his Kizuna Bond Beast Red T-Rex or dragon basically come up and help him. It's a very cool moment. But the big thing is honestly dealing with the backstory between Rania and Anzir. So as they're fighting along, they have a discussion about how Anzir really changed Rania. When she was a kid, she would always wear a mask to become more serious, so she can be a proper leader and be a man. Like when we see in the manga, she's all really good. She's all super hunky dory. She can change her emotions on the fly, basically, just by talking to herself. You can see the character development. And when they kind of meet in the past, she wears different masks, and Anzir is able to open up her heart and become the person that she is today. It's some pretty good funny moments. But they have their big battle, and unfortunately, while Red is underground, he uses his time swap ability, we'll say, and steals her Kamen Rider belt, or her satchel, and he transforms. So the next episode is going to be Red versus Anzir. One other cool detail that I noticed is the demon Vividan. I was not exactly expecting the colors that he had, the silver and blue. He looks really cool. I absolutely really loved it. I really love the colors. It works very well on him. It was a nice touch. and also seeing the Anubis form as well as it was. Seeing the design and the colors also worked very nicely with her. Now, as I mentioned, and Zir does get the Kamen Rider belt essentially, and there, in terms of differences, it's a bit weird. So Rania, when she has it, she has, obviously the big boobs, which every time she transforms, her boobs do bounce, so you do get that. But her eyes are green. Now, this is also in Rania's eyes are also green in like her normal state. But for Enzir, it's a bit different. He's got blue eyes. And what? Hold on. No, wait. I was trying to get to this. Okay, yeah. He has the more blue eyes, and he's a little bit golden crown. His eyes are yellow, so I kind of wish it was yellow, but I can understand why, given that it already has yellow coloring. But yeah, it's a small thing to note. Also, his yellow is a little bit brighter than her. Well, I guess it kind of depends on the sunlight, but it does look a little bit darker in here for hers. Overall, it's a good episode. It's a solid episode. I do think it's the weakest, even without thinking about the manga aspect. That did really bug me a lot. I don't know. Maybe it kind of felt a little bit off, like the defeat of Yu's. It felt like, oh, it wasn't that impressive. I don't know. It was a little bit lackluster. I also wish to see T-Rex a little bit more. It actually did have a bout with Woz, which was kind of a bit of a shame. But yeah, solid episode, just kind of the weakest in terms of where the manga is. With that, I'm gonna end my episode. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys next time for episode 10. I believe episode 10 is going to cover probably all 12, maybe 13. I think the episode 11 is going to be basically Red going into beast mode. We'll just say that until the episode happens. But with that, until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tonight for Final Fantasy VII. Have a wonderful rest of the day.